Hey guys, it's Shereé, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my fall sewing vision board. Now, I mentioned this in a couple of videos, so some of you are probably wondering what took me so long, and the reason is I actually was waiting on fabric. So before we get into what's on this vision board, I need to first say thank you so much for stopping by my channel. If you're new, please do hit subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you're a returning person, thank you so much for your continued support. Alright, so my fall sewing vision board is something that I put together because I have so many ideas and there's so many things that I want to make, and I didn't know where to start. So I thought it would be helpful for me if I put together a plan, and so that's where this came about. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how I personally got started, and then I'll try to show you everything on my board. I'm very close up on the camera right now because I'm really trying to figure out how to balance the exposure and also make it so that everything's not blurry. So I'm going to start out by talking to you up close like this, and then I'll move the camera so that you can hopefully see my vision board much better, which means I probably won't be in the frame, and I'll more than likely be using this handy dandy ruler to point at the things that I'm talking about. Alright, so the first thing that I did in this process, and it's something that's very simple that we should all do on a more regular basis, is that I looked at the wardrobe that I already had in my collection. Now, I've been complaining about having a shortage of tops, and I've been using that as an excuse as to why I stopped wearing my really nice jeans. And when you work with children, oftentimes, if you're like me, there's the tendency to wear more comfortable, casual clothing, and especially when you work with smaller children, and I want to get out of the habit of that, and I want to wear things that are bright and cheery and make me feel good and make me feel confident and beautiful. And so in looking in my closet, I was like, okay, I need to start wearing all of these jeans. What do I want to pair them with? I looked up at the top of my closet where I hang all of my tops, and I noticed that there's a huge shortage. I do have some blouses for going out, but I don't have really nice everyday tops. And so I decided that that was going to be a major focus for me as I proceeded to decide what I wanted to sew. I had to include lots of tops. Another thing that I have found that I'm really enjoying wearing over these past few months is dungarees. So I decided that, hey, the 3 dungarees that I already... 3? That's not right. Hold on a second. Let me do the math here. Oh, I've made 4 or 5 pairs of dungarees. I guess I really like them. Those aren't enough. I want more. And part of the issue is that the ones that I've made already, some of them are made out of a lighter weight fabric, and I won't be wearing them in the fall or in the winter because they'll be too cold. So I've decided that I'd like to make a couple more pairs of dungarees. And I think they're a really simple thing to wear, and so long as you have a good option of like cotton t-shirts or things like that to throw underneath, they're a really simple thing to put on when you're rushing in the morning. They're cute and they're comfortable, which is perfect for me. So I'll be making more of those. Another thing that I saw a shortage of is dresses. Not dresses that I can wear in the summer. I have lots of t-shirt dresses that I've been making, but I'm talking about transitional dresses and dresses that I can wear in the winter and fall. And so I've decided that I'd want to add a couple of those things to my wardrobe, and I only have a couple of skirts that are appropriate for everyday wear, and they're denim skirts that I purchased from Levi's. So I thought it might be nice to add a couple of other skirt options as well that are knee length or maybe even longer, that I can wear throughout fall and transition into winter. So that's how I decided what I wanted to look for in this process. Once I had a list of all the things that I wanted to make and add to my wardrobe, it was then time for me to start shopping patterns. And so one of the things that's really helped me is that I have subscribed to Seamworks, and I have an unlimited subscription, which means I can download and print off as many patterns as I want for a year. So I looked at what they had to offer, and I noticed that they had quite a few tops that would work perfectly for what my intent is. And so I decided, okay, these are the ones that I'm going to pick, and I started printing off patterns and also instructions, and most importantly for me, the line drawings. The line drawings were helpful in me when it was time to actually start purchasing fabrics. So I'll give you a close-up of those line drawings because I have added them all to my vision board. And once I had my line drawings on my vision board, then I got a chance to sit down online. I really didn't have a choice. I was sick in quarantine. Hashtag COVID-19. Oh, it's not a joke, okay? Anyway, I was on lockdown quarantine for a couple of weeks, and so I had the opportunity to peruse and do some online shopping, and I had my vision board to help me remember what it was that I was shopping for so that I wouldn't get totally distracted by all the wonderful things that they have at fabric stores, because it's very easy to do. I did get a couple of fabrics that I wasn't sure what I was going to do with, and so I'm still trying to figure out what to do with those fabrics. And that's a position I didn't want to be in. I wanted to have a clear plan, and I wanted to only purchase the things that I needed. And so anyway, having the vision board with all of the line drawings right there in my face, propped up on a wall so that I could reference it as I was shopping, was extremely helpful for me. And I didn't just buy a bunch of random stuff. So if you're going to do a vision board, that's the way to do it, I think, and that's what's worked for me so far. All right, so once I had my line drawings up there, it was time to do the shopping. I purchased the fabrics that I thought I might want to use. I also did a huge inventory of what I already have in my stash. That took me a couple of hours. I actually thought it was going to take longer than that, but it wasn't quite so bad because I've been really good about only buying the fabric that I actually have a plan for most of the time. I did, however, find situations where I had less than a yard, so for those, I have no idea what I'll do with them. At some point, maybe they can be interfacing, or I don't know, lining. I don't know, I'll do something with them, make pillows, whatever the case may be, I'll figure it out. But it did help me to prevent buying something that I could already use that's within my stash already. So if you already have fabric in your stash, go ahead and start looking at which fabrics might look nice on the patterns that you've selected for your vision board before you actually do your shopping. And then do your shopping and fill those holes and those gaps. Now, do you have to buy all your fabric right up front? No. You can actually just order swatches of fabric. And I've saw that a lot of companies do offer like certain promotions too. Like if you buy X amount of yards of fabric, then they throw in a certain number of swatches. But you can also just order fabric swatches, which is really cool. So if you're not in a rush and you want to take your time as you're working on your projects, you don't need to know everything right away. You can play with a little bit and get some of those swatches. You can even go to your local fabric stores and get swatches and play with them on your vision board until you decide what it is that you really want, and then purchase your fabric afterwards. So it's not something you have to do all at once. I did because I was just really excited and I wanted to get started. And so as soon as I'm done sewing my kids' clothing for school, I'm going to start on my fall vision board, and I'm really excited because now I have everything that I need. There might be a few little notions I have to pick up here and there, but for the most part, fabric-wise, I'm set. All right, I'm gonna bring you in closer so that we can talk about the actual items that I selected and you can see the fabrics that I plan to use. Now, in some cases, I have cut little squares of fabric that doesn't fit all of the print on the fabric, which is okay because for me, the general focus was to look at the colors that are included in the actual fabric itself. So if you want to see a closer up picture of what these fabrics look like, most of them are in my massive haul video as well as my most recent part 2 fabric haul video. So you can check those out and you'll be able to see closer what it is that I've ordered, okay? All right, I'm gonna bring you in now. Okay guys, so this is my fall sewing vision board. I'm hoping that all of the fabrics fit in the frame. I may have to do some adjusting, pushing up my board or pulling it down so that you can see. Hopefully I can get everything in there and you guys can see okay. I'm going to be using a ruler to point at the objects or the items that I will be talking about today, because if I stick my head in there, it's going to mess up the focus of my camera. So hopefully that's okay with you. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to be making, and actually I've already made one, is the Orlando tee. This is a Seamworks pattern. It is a stretchy, clingy t-shirt, and I love it so much because it gives you shape. It's not boxy. The only thing is that I found that when making this, I had to alter the pattern based off of my measurements, and it still ended up being too tight. It's because it's meant to be clingy to the body, but this particular fabric that I chose is a very heavyweight, tight 4-way stretch jersey, and it honestly feels like a compression top, like if I was trying to wear, like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen those Spanx tanks. That's what this feels like on the skin. If you like that and you are looking for a fabric that does that, this is a stretch jersey that I got from Fine Fabrics. I did feature it in my last fabric haul video, and I think it would be good for that, but that's not what I was going for. It's a cute top. I like the way it came out. However, I will be making it again much bigger when I go in pink, and because I like it so much, I think I actually might repurchase this fabric so that I can try again. I downloaded this as a part of my subscription with Seamworks. I did sign up for a year subscription, so I paid an amount so that I can download unlimited patterns. And this has really helped me out with my vision board and my sewing plans. They have some really great staple pieces in their collection. So if you're starting from scratch and you really need to build up all of the wardrobe, you might want to check out that subscription because you can get lots of really great patterns. So next up on my vision board is another Seamworks pattern. It's the Natalie. The Natalie is a button-up shirt. It is short sleeve, as you can see here. I like it because I don't own any short sleeve button-ups, and I think it will be really great for layering. I can wear it now in the warmer months, and I can also wear it when it cools down, and I can layer it as well. And so I like that option. So I'm hoping that it works out nicely for me. I have some ideas for testing the pattern out before I do it on my preferred fabric, and I just have placed some different options of fabric that I have in my collection. This is a very cheap cotton that I have. It's not my favorite thing. It's a pesto green and it has these little flowers on it. I think this might be a good one to just test it out to see if I like the way it fits, like a wearable muslin. I can sleep in it. If anything else, I probably wouldn't go anywhere in that top because I really don't like the fabric that much. But another option would be to use what I have left of this linen fabric that I purchased to make a jumpsuit. Or no, I made overalls out of this fabric. And so I just have, I want to say, 1.5 yards left of it. So it'll probably be the perfect amount in order to squeeze one of these out. And I thought it might be fun if I made this with snap buttons in different colors to give it a little bit more pizzazz. And maybe do a special stitch around the collar to give it some more color. But that's another option for testing out this top. I have a couple of African fabrics, African wax fabrics in my stash that I've also been thinking about making. And that is very much something I really want to do, is start incorporating more of my wax fabrics in my wardrobe. So these are good options for if I do like the way the pattern comes out when I sew it up. Now, the fabrics that I actually purchased for my final projects for this shirt or pattern is this one right here. This is a cotton poplin. It's blue and it has watermelons. If you look on the Seamworks website, the woman modeling this shirt actually has a blue shirt and it looks like it has white rainbows or humps on it. I really love that fabric, but I haven't been able to find it. So as an alternative, I found this one, and so I will be making this shirt out of this once I get the pattern down. And then here is another fabric that I absolutely love. It is a quilting cotton and it's vintage and it has lots of little sewing related pictures all over it, like scissors and sewing machines and dress forms and fancy writing. It's so cute. I love it so much, and I featured it in my most recent fabric haul video, so you can check it out there. It's really lovely, and I think it will be such a great shirt. I think I'll really wear it with pride, and it will inspire me to sew more. So the next shirt that I'll be making is this one here. This is another Seamworks shirt. It's I believe it's Ellie flat. This is the Ellie flat drawing for this shirt, and I'm going to be using a lyocell spandex for this particular shirt. I like this shirt because it has a button up front. And using the lyocell fabric, it's very thin and lightweight and soft, and it feels so good on the skin, and I think it will look really nice. And I can wear it now while it's warm, but I can also transition it to fall and winter, and I can layer with it. So I think this is really great. This fabric is a mint green and it has a gold bee on it. And then this one here is a real fall inspired type of fabric. It has a black background with lots of different leaves, and there's little colors running through the leaves. So if you're wondering why I've cut my fabric the way I did, it wasn't so that I could remember what the pictures are in the fabric, because I know what they are. I just really wanted a glimpse of the color and the fabric type as I was putting together my vision board, and so that is why I've cut it the way that it is. It might not be extremely helpful for you because you can't see the fabric up close, but you can actually get an idea of how I came up with a plan for my sewing projects. So the next one is the Romy top. In the Romy top, I've selected 3 possibilities. The first one is a rainbow striped, really thick doodle fabric that I got from Joann's. Now it's thicker than your typical t-shirt, but it's thinner than a sweatshirt material, and it is an interlock fabric. I really like it a lot. I've considered making a t-shirt dress out of this with a rib neck and armbands, but I'm thinking that it might really play nicely as a long sleeve shirt, and it's something that I can transition into winter because it's a little thicker. Now this Tilling the Buttons Romy top has a tie option for the back, so it ties in the back, and I think that might be really cute in that fabric, so that's an option. This right here is a double brush poly with a lavender background and yellow flowers. I think that will be really nice in both options of short or long, so I haven't decided which I want to do there. And lastly is this lyocell, which is very thin and flowy. I'll definitely make a long sleeve out of this particular one because I don't want it to cling too tightly to the body. Since it is white, it's a bit sheer, and so if it's a little looser and it's not quite as fitted to the body, I think I can get a little away with it without wearing a camisole underneath. We'll see how it goes. Next we have the Adrian blouse, and this is a Friday Pattern Company blouse, and I've made this. This is now my 3rd version. I actually made this top today in this fabric here, and it is that same thick jersey that I used for the Orlando, but the Adrian top is really nice because it has these really big romantic flowy sleeves on it, and in this jersey it is so heavy and warm. It's going to be perfect for when it gets cold and I'm doing recess duty outside. It's going to be like the perfect top for me. And so, and the color I think is a really good color for fall and winter. So I'm happy that this came out really beautifully, and I can't wait until it's a little cooler so that I can wear it. And it's something that I think I'll love wearing with jeans. So that was the whole point of all of this. So far, all of the shirts that I've showed you, or tops, blouses, will look really nice with all of my jeans. So I'm pretty happy about my selections. So the next thing we have, and I'm probably gonna have to pull this down a bit so that you can see. Is that good enough? Yes. Okay, so the next thing we have here is the Flora. This is a pattern from Seamworks, and it is a long cardigan. It comes mid-thigh, or it's like after your hips, mid-thigh, and it's to be made out of either a sweater knit or a lightweight knit fabric. And so what I have chosen is an interlock fabric. It's blue and it has tigers all over it, and the tigers are different colors. There's light blue, dark blue, orange, and I think there's white. I made my boys t-shirts out of this fabric, and I think it will look really nice in a lightweight cardigan. Another option that I have, and I'll show you on the back side of this because this does have 2 sides. I know I'm very ambitious here, but maybe an Alexa jumpsuit out of that fabric. Next is this fabric here. It is a lightweight knit fabric, and I'm not positive that I want to make this out of this fabric, but I thought it might be cool if I had this and then I also made leggings out of it because it's very stretchy. So it could be a 2-piece set that I could wear with tennis shoes, or I could wear with boots later, and it will be really comfortable and cute. I really love that color. I think it's like a Bordeaux, but it's a deep like wine color, and I like it a lot. So this is version 1. That was version 2. This is version 1 of the same cardigan. The version 1 stops at the high hip, and I like this. I feel like it will be cute as a layering top, or like I could wear a tank underneath and just wear it as if it's my main top, or I can make it for wearing in layers and being able to take off later in the day. I decided that I think I want to make this out of a ponte, so I'm going to use some leftover ponte fabric that I have from a project from months ago, and it is green and white striped. And another option is I have the same fabric here in this light blue, and I have zero plans for it because it's not my favorite color. So I think I might actually make this in this cardigan, and I can either use it to lounge around in the house, or I can sleep in it, or you know, if I like the way it comes out, I could wear it to work or whatever. But I think that's what I might do for that particular pattern. Okay, I'm gonna slide this up a little. So I moved up the board so that you can see the bottom half now, and I hope that the camera is focusing okay for you. The next thing on my vision board is more dungarees. As you know, I'm obsessed with dungarees lately. So I have the Mila dungarees. I've already made a pair in a denim that's brown with leopard spots, and I have decided how I'm going to alter the pattern so that it fits me better now. I'm going to make it out of a stretch denim. This is a very deep blue indigo type of denim. So it stretches, I mean, it's extreme stretch. It's very stretchy. It stretches in 4 directions. So I'm going to size the body of the legs down to a 3 and do a 4 waist and a 4 bib. And then I'm going to shorten the bib by 2 inches since I have a short torso. And I think that it will fit better, but I'll get so much use out of a pair of denim dungarees. I have been wearing my dungarees like crazy that I made for summer, but they are in a lighter weight fabric, so they're not appropriate for fall and winter. Like I have a linen pair, and then I have African wax print, so I definitely want to have some warmer dungarees. These are the Heyday dungarees. I've already made a few pairs of these, but I definitely want to make some that are warmer. This one is a twill. It's a stretch twill, and it has like a khaki background, and then it has these really beautiful flowers on it. And so I thought that would be a really pretty dungaree. And instead of doing the looped ties up top, I'm going to add buckles because I think that will look really nice. It'll make the dungarees look a little bit more fancy. So I want to do that, and I'll do the same for these as well. This is also stretch twill. I made my boys dungarees out of this, and if you watched my massive fabric haul video, you may have seen a glimpse of those overalls. I love the way they came out, and so I actually want to copy them so that we can be triplets. And so I'll be adding buckles to that version as well. So the next pair of pants on my vision board is the Nolan pant. And the Nolan pant is a seam work pattern, and I really like it because it is a really nice fitting straight leg pair of pants. The person that's modeling it on the website, I believe hers are made out of linen. You can make these pants out of so many different fabrics. I have chosen to first give my first try with a sateen, and so this is just going to be hopefully a wearable muslin. And once I get my fit right, then I'm going to cut into my more expensive fabric, which is this stretch denim that I got at Joann's, and it is like an olive green color. I'm not sure if you can see that in the camera, but it's a really nice olive green, and so that's the direction I want to go in with that. Next, we have a couple of jumpsuits, and the first jumpsuit is Billy, and these are both Seamworks jumpsuits. This Billy, I'm going to make out of a stretch doodle fabric that is like a lightweight sweatsuit material, and this will have either a tie back, a button loop back, or a clasp hook and eye. I'm not quite sure what I've decided on yet, but for this particular fabric I will do that. And I like this fabric because I think the kids will get a kick out of it. It's black, but it has white rainbows and unicorns and hearts and all these really cute girly type of drawings all over it, and I think the kids will get a kick out of that one. And then lastly, we have Billy version 2 that has the button up front, and I think this will be easier to get in and out of throughout the day, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I have decided to make it out of this blue fabric. I made my boys' sweatsuits out of this fabric, and it's a blue colored fabric that has white hands all over it, and it says high five all over it, and I just think it's so cute, and it just reminds me of giving the kids in the class high fives and being silly with them. So I think that might be a fun, comfortable thing that I can wear, and I think if it comes out nicely, then I'll have a lot of pride wearing it. So far this is side one of my sewing plans for fall. I'm gonna flip this over and show you my sewing plans that I have on the back side. I know that this is extremely ambitious. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I do a lot of sewing. So I'm hoping that I can get all of these things done. And if I can't, that's okay. I might just carry them over into winter sewing plans. But this was a good way for me to lay out my plans and really think about what I needed to add to my closet. Okay, so this is side two of my vision board. Let's see if I can move it down a little bit. There we go. So side two isn't complete, and it's because I am thinking way ahead, and for some of these projects I don't have the fabric for them yet. But hopefully you can see a clear idea of where my mind is going. So I'm thinking about making another Alexa jumpsuit. This is a Tilly and the Buttons pattern. Now I've made it in a bubble gauze, and I know that the pattern doesn't list knits as an option for making this jumpsuit, but I think that with a little tweaking I can actually make this out of a knit, so I'm gonna give it a try. I actually have this Ponte fabric that I had no idea what I was going to make out of it, because when it came, it wasn't what I thought I had ordered. For one, it doesn't have much stretch to it, and it was supposed to be a bit more stretchy. Also, I believe I ordered black and they sent me blue, and so I've been kind of like, what am I going to do with this Ponte fabric? But I actually think it might be cute as an Alexa jumpsuit. And I think what I'll do is I'll just take it in, because when I made it, it was quite large on me, and it's supposed to be a bit of a baggier feel. But I'm thinking it might actually look nice in that fabric, and I'll be able to wear it pretty much all year. It's a little bit heavier, so summer hot months I wouldn't wear it. But when, you know, being in the Bay Area, like today's the hottest day we've had in a long time, and the high was 89. So we get like a handful of these days in a year. So I think for the most part, I'll get a lot of wear out of it. It's just a solid blue Ponte. So that's one option. The other option is, this is that same interlock fabric from the other side of the board that has tigers all over it. I think that would be a cute jumpsuit as well. If you've made the Alexa in a knit or stretchy fabric, please let me know how it went. And if you have any recommendations for altering the pattern in order to make it fit nicely, please do also let me know that as well. So the next thing is the Penelope Pinafore. Now I have already made one of these before in a really cute denim that has white dots all over it, and I love the way it came out. It's so cute. It's the first time I ever installed buckles, and so I was pretty proud about it. I made the long version before, and it actually goes past the knees, which is cute, but I think it's a little bit longer than what I want for my future ones. And so what I have here is I've decided to do a burgundy red corduroy. And now this, when I ordered it, I thought it was going to be stretch, because that's what I ordered. It said stretch, but really there's very little tiny bit of stretch in this fabric. So I think it'll play nicely for that, and I think it's something that I'd be able to wear all year round. But with tights in the winter, I think it would be perfect, and I think it would be really great for fall. I also have this, and I featured this in my most recent fabric haul. This is a thicker cord fabric. Now this cord has zero stretch in it as well, and so I think it also will play nicely. And I'm short, so that's probably why this is a bit longer than what I envisioned. I'm only 5'4", so I think I might make the shorter version for both of these. Now I bought this really nice stretch. Now this is extremely stretchy. I bought this really nice stretch cord from fabric.com, and I featured it in my last haul video, and I bought it for my boys' joggers, but I actually think it might look nice in one of these skirts as well. So if I have some left over from making their joggers, I will either use what I have left over to make this or to make a pair of pants. So yeah, so I really love the Penelope. It's something that I could see myself wearing a lot, so I'm going to make a few versions. Next, Bootstrap. I'm new to Bootstrap. If you guys already knew about Bootstrap, then you are ahead of the game. But apparently Bootstrap is a company where you can spend $3 to buy a pattern. You enter all of your measurements, and they custom tailor a printable PDF pattern for you in your correct size. And so that's what I did here. This is just a basic jumpsuit. Now I think this version is supposed to stop mid-calf. I'll measure it out to make sure, but I really want it to go to my ankles if possible. I think this is really cute, and I'm planning to make it out of a stretch twill that is kind of like a khaki color. So I like that a lot. The next thing that I can show you without having to move the vision board is this Jessa trousers. This is a Tilling the Button pattern. They recently had a sale, or I think it's still actually going for the next week. So if you're interested in Tilling the Buttons, now's the time to buy patterns. They have a select number of patterns that are buy one, get one free. And so I got this pattern and a pattern I'll show you in a second. And I like these trousers because they're wide leg. And on Tilly's Instagram, she showed that she made a denim version and she put embroidered pockets, and I thought that was so cute. So I kind of want to do something that's similar, only I don't want to make jeans. I think I'm actually going to use this twill, so light blue twill. And so either I'll do that or I'll do corduroy. I haven't decided. I don't have the cord for it at the moment, but like I said, if I have enough left over of this green, I might do that because it's got good stretch. I think it'll fit really nicely. Okay, so now a few things that I don't have fabric for yet. My Auntie Ruby actually gave me a book on how to make different, I think it's like 24 different types of skirts. It's a lovely book, really great pictures. I didn't include it in my book video because it's new and I haven't made anything from it yet, but I think I'm gonna have a good experience with it. I just haven't tried anything yet. So there are 4 skirts that I like from that book that I want to try to incorporate. Now I have this one here. It's a button front and it has pockets. I purchased this blue viscose. I showed it in my massive haul video and it has flowers all over it, and I didn't have a plan for it. So I think this might be a nice skirt to make with it. This is a knee length and it's buttoned up the front and it has pockets. So I think that'll be perfect. And in the cooler months, the viscose is thin. So in the cooler months, I could wear it with thick tights or I could just save it for spring. But that's an idea. Then there's the same skirt, only it's slightly shorter and it has pockets and it has a zip back instead of buttons in the front. So those are 2 options that I think are really lovely. Okay, so next we have the Agnes top. This is the second pattern in the One Get One Free from Tilling the Buttons. The Agnes top has lots of versions. It has 3 main versions, and that's the long sleeve, that's the short sleeve, it's the ruched little shoulders without, and then it has the ruching in the middle. I like all options in this. I've actually made dresses from a McCall pattern. Was it McCall or Simplicity? I'm not sure. And I really like the way those came out, but this one is a top version. So I'm excited to give this a go, and at the moment I don't know which fabric I will use. It's possible that I'll use some of the fabric left over from a previous project, or I'll buy something. But I just purchased that one, so it's new to my vision board, and I don't have a specific plan for it yet, but I wanted to share with you. Okay, now we're at the very bottom, and I have 2 skirts I want to show you. This is an A-line skirt, again from the book that my aunt got me, and this one is culottes, and they're also from the book that she got me. Now, for all 4 of these skirts, there were no line drawings in the pictures that didn't have color or photographs of people, so I actually traced them. And this is something that I recommend that you do if you have sewing patterns that don't have black and white lines and you want to create a vision board. I just took some of my pattern paper or the paper I use for tracing patterns, and I traced them in the book, and that's how I got these. I prefer to look at them like this in black and white because it allows me to be more creative when I'm picking my fabrics rather than trying to completely copy pattern examples. So yeah, so this is what ends my vision board. I believe that if I do this A-line skirt, I'll do it in denim. I think it's a very nice look. And for the culottes, I'm playing with some different ideas, but I thought it would be really nice to have them in corduroy. So that's one thing that I'm thinking about. So those are all things in my vision board. Well, there you guys go. This is my fall vision board. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe to my channel. I want to say that you don't have to have a lot of materials to put this together. It just so happens that I did have lots of printer ink, and I had poster board, and I had tape, and so I got started. But again, if you want to start your vision board and you don't have fabrics yet, but you just want to have a plan or an idea for your next moves with your sewing, I think creating a vision board is a good way to go. If you are a member of Seamworks, then you can go ahead and follow along with their Create Your Own Wardrobe lesson, and they help you to put together plans in their way. And they do it by creating, it's kind of like a journal style of planning, and I think that's really great as well. It's not too different from the things that I like to do with my sewing plans journal and now my vision board, so you might want to check that out. But I really enjoyed putting this together, and I'll probably continue to create similar vision boards like this after this season has passed. But again, if you enjoyed this video, please do give me a thumbs up and please subscribe. Have a wonderful day. Bye.